Okay, so welcome back again, all of you. We are going to start new topic in our basic Python, right? So what I'm doing here in this section or in this session, I'm just directly going to explain you about the functions, right? Because we need them right now, right? And we will directly jump on web development. So what is my plan for today? My plan is for today that you have to be like basic idea about web applications, that how they work and how we can build a web applications with the help of Python or with the help of backend concept, right? Or with the help of Django. So what I'm going to explain you right now, I'm going to explain you about the functions, that how we can create our own functions and how we can use them. Then we will directly jump on web development section, right? Okay. So let's see. I hope you all are also waiting for the web development section, right? Okay, fine. Same communication from old like old session, right? It's not like new, that new student will join here, right? All student, like all previous student or will join in this session also, right? Okay. Okay, so like next jump, right? Okay, how many topics we are not going to cover right now? We will cover if we will get time, right? But not right now we are going to cover. So how many topics we are not going to cover? Firstly, I'm going to insert the list of the topics, how many topics we are not going to cover. So firstly, we are not going to cover control statement, like if, elif, or else, right? We are not going to cover right now. We will cover, but not right now, right? We need them, actually we need them, but so we will cover, but on step by step, right? Okay, so I'm not going to explain you about this topic right now, a control statement and like if, elif, and else. Then loops like for and while. I'm not going to explain you right now these two things, right? Apart from it, uh, nothing. Apart from it, we are going to jump. So what we are going to learn right now, we are going to directly jump on defining the functions. Defining the functions. How we can define your own function. As we worked on functions, as we worked on pop function, we worked on pop function, right? Yeah. Okay, so we are not actually going to cover these functions, or not going to like you can say cover these three things, control statement and loops, right? We are going to cover, or right now we are going to start a function, defining the function. As we worked on pop function, apart from it, we have some again functions like round. Round is very interesting function. We are going to cover. And some other functions. We are going to learn about defining the functions, and very important concept we are going to learn using the libraries. And firstly, we will learn about how to install new library and use it. Right? So firstly, I'm going to explain you the functions. So just clear this function, right? And just try to learn this function, or learn this concept, defining the function. Then we will directly jump on installing the libraries, how we can install them and how we can use them, right? Okay. So let's jump for it. So now guys, what I'm doing here, like if you want to define any function, guys, don't unmute yourself, guys. I'm just requesting to all of you, as you are going to join in meeting, please mute yourself, right? If you're not muted, or if you are unmute, right? Now, so we are going to just define function, define def we are going to use. So def is a predefined keyword in Python, and with the help of define function, you can define any function in your Python. Like for example, what happened, guys? What happened in any other programming language? Like for example, if you want to define any function in C language, suppose all of you know about the C language, or all of you have basic idea about the C language. I hope, right? So if we want to define any function in C language or basic any programming language, so what we will do actually, usually what we will do, we will just call the type of data we are going to return with the help of this function. Return type, we can say function name, and if we need any argument, then we will pass like argument 1 we need, argument 2 we need, and argument n we need. N means n number of argument we need. So we will define like this and use curly braces. And we will define something here. Do something here, right? We will define our function like this, and if we are going to return something, then use return argument and return something from a function. Usually we do this, and not only in C language, in all type of programming languages. It can be your Java, it can be your JavaScript, it can be other function, right? Some pattern will change, some concept will change, but everything goes same, right? Curly braces we will use a parenthesis, we'll use a return type of data, and all these things we will use definitely, right? In Python, good news is we don't have to apply any curly braces. We don't have to apply any defined function or any type of return data type, right? What we will use only def. Define will just work as a defining the function, nothing else, guys. Def will work as defining the function. Like for example, my function name is home. Suppose home. My function name is home. So def of home. And now after that, what we will do, if we need any argument, we will pass it. Otherwise, we will just apply colon. Like what happened here, we apply curly braces. But in Python, we will apply colon. Or like suppose we have this. So in Python, we don't need this. We need only define. And if we are passing any argument, that's good. That's completely fine. But we will use colon. And if we click enter, then it will not be here. It will be here. Like it will create some indentation, or it will create some space from this beginning line to this new line. So the space, this is space, as you can see, this is space, right, will be just equals to one tab. This space is just completely or directly equal to your one tab or four space, right? So now this space is compulsory. In your Python, right? So when you write anything, like for example, print, and I'm writing hello. If I click again enter, it will not execute your program. It will ask you for the next instruction. Do you want to execute more than one line in one function, inside the one function? Yes, I want to execute more than one line. So more instruction. I want to execute hello Python. Do you want to execute something more? Yes, I want to execute something more. Like A equals to 23 and B equals to 34. I would execute this also. And I would execute more than this. And I want to execute this. Add A plus B. Add A plus B and A plus B. I want to execute these 5 lines. That's it, guys. Now click enter and click enter 2 times. Click enter 1 time and click enter 2 times. You will get your function defined and it's executed in your system. So def and home and colon, print and all these things, right? We have this. Now, if we want to use this function, if we want to call this function, then what we will do, we will just simply use home, nothing else. Call parenthesis, because we are going to call this function. And in this function, we don't have to pass any argument. So we are not going to pass anything. So now if I click enter, we will get these 3 lines. So what this function is doing, it's going to print hello, it's going to print Python, it's going to assign 23 in particular location with the help of variable name A. It's going to assign 34 in particular location with the variable B, and print add A plus B, comma A plus B. We are getting this answer. We are getting this answer, right? So hello Python, add A plus B of 57. Now, so we can define our function. We can define our function like this, and we can use them. We can use them. Now, suppose I want pass this A and B as argument. So how to work? Simple, guys. Just delete these 2 things here and assign like this, A comma B. Now if I call home like this, if we call home like this, and if we execute, we will get home missing 2 required positional argument A comma B. You can think that it's really very advanced, right? It's going to give you the answer. Then home missing 2 required positional argument, and variable name also going to define by this error. That the variable is A and B. Variable is A and B. You have to pass it. Okay, fine. I'm just a beginner in the coding. I'm just beginner in the coding, and what I'm doing, I'm just passing 23. Maybe 2 will consider as a first argument, and 3 is considered as second argument. Let's see what happened, right? Okay, 23. So what it says, home missing 1 required positional argument. It says you are passing 1 number, but again it's missing 1 required positional argument, and the positional argument variable name is B. You have to pass something. So how it's going to decide? It's going to decide that 23 is on first location, so it will consider as a argument. It's not going to consider as a B argument. But now, if I do like this, suppose something think more advanced, right? B equals to 23. Suppose. Now let's see what it says. It says that home missing 1 required position argument, and variable name is A, because you are assigning your B with 23. B with 23, right? So we are getting this data. Now, if I use like this, home 23 and 12, then you will get your answer. Or 21, sorry, not 12. Now you are getting your answer, right? Because you are passing both the values. So how it's going to work? It's going to consider first value on first variable, second value on second variable. Now it's going to add it. It's going to add it, right? So this is your function. So actually in functions, we have 4 cases. 4 cases. First case is pass something, and return nothing. Second case says, actually we all know, right? Pass nothing, and return also nothing. Pass nothing, but return something. And next is pass something and return something. We have these 4 cases. 4 cases, right? We can pass something, we can return something, we can pass nothing, we will get return nothing, a lot of things. We have a lot of things. So we have these 4 cases. Now, so how we can work on it? Now, so we have this home. So if we want to consider this case, so this case is that we are passing something. Guys, just a minute, guys, right? Okay, so now we are passing something. In this function, but we are getting nothing as a return format, right? It's going to print. It's not big deal, right? They are going to execute something. It's not big deal. Point is, we are getting nothing as a return. This function is not going to return anything, any value, any number, any data from this function, from the execution. We are getting nothing from this function. So this function can be considered pass something, return nothing concept. Pass something, return nothing concept. We are going to pass something, but we are not going to return any number, any value, character, string, or anything else, right? So that's why we can consider this. If we talk about this function, we are going to pass nothing. There is no argument in this function, but we are also not going to return anything. We are not going to return anything. So that's why we can consider this function as a pass nothing and return nothing. Now we will discuss on two more type of function. Pass nothing but return something. Now we are going to work on return concept, right? So how this return will do? And I will also show you that what is the difference between return and not returning thing, right? Okay. So now let's see. I'm just going to define add, or just you can say a new function temp, T-E-M-P. I'm not going to pass anything. And suppose I'm going to just print processing. Processing means what I'm doing, whenever I will call this function, and just assume, like it's not happening actually right now, but just assume that this function is going to process something behind the scene, and trying to like get the temperature of the environment. Suppose my laptop is connected with temperature sensor, and whenever I will call this function, I will print this processing. My machine will start processing something. So what I will do, I will do something here. I don't know what I'm going to do right now, right? But I will do something, and after doing something, we will get some data. Or some value in the form of temperature. That okay, right now, my machine can give me the answer that right now temperature is 23. Suppose for example, we are building, or like one of my student is like, for example, Vivek, right? Vivek is working on API development thing, and Vivek know about it, that how to develop the API, right? He also joined this seminar, or just the training part, and he developed the API, right? To find the current temperature, right? So now what we will do, I will just ask to my friend Vivek, right? And ask to my friend Vivek that, Vivek, can you give me your API so I can also uh, okay. So now I will just ask you for the like, Vivek, that can you give me your API so I can use it. Right? Your API, and I can find the temperature. Okay. So now we will process something. After processing something, what we will do, I will just return. This is the concept. Okay. So now I'm just going to return. And return like something 23. And now if I execute, I will get that 23 will return when we call this temperature. Okay. Now, actually, some of you are requesting that we have to for example, some of you are requesting to repeat it. So just I'm going to repeat. Yeah. One more thing. Veer, like I don't know who are you? I don't know you, right? But yeah, if you are here and if you want to learn, only learn, then you should be still with this training. Otherwise, I don't think so that you have to be continue with this training, right? And it's really for everyone. If you are here to learn, because we are doing this to like teach you in very basic or very easy way, right? And just try to make some projects. You will got some basic knowledge that how we can build the projects and all these things, right? So if you are here to like just fun, then I don't think so that it's a good platform for anyone, right? So I hope you have to manage and you have to just maintain all these things, right? Okay, fine. And if you talk about the repeating thing, that why I was not repeating, because your joining time was not 8:15, right? As we discussed that you will join your class on 7:55, and even still I wait for 5 minutes, and I started my class on 5 o'clock. No, sorry, 8 o'clock. Right? I'm not started my class on 7:55, and but you are going to join on 8:15. Then how we will manage it? I think you all guys have to understand it, right? Okay, but yeah, still I'm going to explain again that what we are learning, right? So you can continue with again new topic. Otherwise, you will definitely face some problem. Right? Okay, fine. Okay, so now actually we was discussing about functions, how we can define our function, right? So actually, you already worked on defining the function, defining the functions in other languages, right? Say for example, C language. If you want to define any function, just guys, it will take 1 or 2 minutes, right? I'm just going to recall all the things, so maybe a new student can got the point, right? So define or just define a function. So in other language, what you will define? You will define int, or you can say any type of data if you are going to return any data. Otherwise, you will define void, or like vary according to languages. According to languages, like it can be var also. It can be var also, like in JavaScript. It can be directly function name also, right? Or just function also, right? Okay. In Python or like C language, what it will do, we will define like this: int function name and argument. Like suppose argument 1, argument 2, and argument n, and we will apply curly braces, and do something, right? And return something also if you need, right? So this is the pattern of defining the function in any programming language. It's not only for Python, it's not only for C, it's for every type of programming language and all 10,000 programming languages, right? Okay, you can define any type of function, right? Difference can be like according to syntax. So syntax can change based on programming language, but pattern will be same. So how we will define in Python? In Python, we don't have to define, as we all know that there is no data type in Python, so we don't have to define it. So we will call it just def. Def will be your like function. Def will be just your call, or just say or explain that okay, you are going to define your function. After that, after that, we don't have to use any curly braces. We will use colon, 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 right? After that, we will just click enter. So we will get our cursor will be on this location. Cursor will not be here. Cursor will not be here in Python, right? Cursor will be here. And if cursor is here, it means we are going to define our function. And if we will write anything like print something, if we print something, we want to add something, and we want to execute something again and execute something again. So till the end, as many instructions you want to write, you can write here. It's not big deal, right? But whatever you will write inside this function, it will consider that okay, when you call this function, all instruction will execute here. Are you getting a point, guys? All instruction will execute here. Suppose if you define one more function, define hello, suppose function inside the function, right? And now if you call, so now can you see this? What I'm doing here, guys, inside this function, I'm going to define a new function. I will define new function, and now if I want to call this, then we will just work like this. Like, so what is going to do us, or how it's going to execute this function, and when you execute this function, these lines will execute, and this function will define this function, you will define any instruction, any condition. Is it visible to right now, all of you? All of you can see this screen? Okay. So what like we are discussing here, if we write any instruction here in this line, suppose in this line, so this instruction will not consider as a if statement, or this instruction will not execute under this if statement. This instruction will execute under this function. If you want to execute any instruction under this if statement, that you have to just like tab it. If this instruction is here, right, then these instruction will consider as they will execute if this condition will satisfied. If argument 1 is equals to post, if argument 1 is equals to post, then this line will execute, otherwise not. I hope it's clear to all of you. It's clear to all of you. And if this line will clear to all of you, and if this line will satisfied, if this statement will satisfied, then we will return good. Something. I don't know why I'm going to return the good, but I'm just going to return, right? It's my choice that I want to return good. So now, when this condition will satisfied, I will return this. And suppose I can execute something more. Add data on database also. We can do this. Fetch data. We can edit data, and lot more things you can do, right? It's not just only return. You can do anything, whatever you want, whatever you're expecting. So this is my defining the function. So we have 4 possibilities, guys, to define the function. Pass something, return nothing. If you are passing any argument, so it will consider as a pass something. But if function is not going to return anything, it will consider that return nothing. Pass nothing, you are not going to pass anything, but you are also not going to return anything, will consider as return nothing. Pass nothing, we are not going to pass anything, but it's going to return something. That will consider as a pass nothing but return something. If we are going to pass something and return something also, then it will consider as a pass something and return something also. So let's work. I'm just going to explain you about all 4 type of function just within 2 minutes, right? Okay. Now define home. Suppose I'm not going to pass anything, I'm just going to click enter. My Python will guide us, guys, right? I don't have to think that I have to provide any space or anything. My Python will give us the answer that, okay, you don't have to worry about it, that where you have to start, right? On which point you have to start. Just click enter. I will guide you that you have to start typing from this point. If you want to execute anything under this function or under this conditional statement or under this loop, everything will be inside this function, inside this loop, inside this conditional statement, right? Okay. So now home, and what this home will do, this will home print. And what it will print? It will print, I hope clear to all of you, right? I hope it's clear to all of you, right? Okay, that's great. Now suppose print, I hope it's clear to all of you. After that, if I want to print more thing, print good, we can print good also. Right? Okay. So now I want to execute these 2 things. After that, click enter. Okay, so now if I want to use this function, how we can use it, guys? Just call home, nothing else, guys. Just call this home and execute it. What we are getting here, guys, we are just executing it. I hope it's clear to all of you, and good, we are getting good in the answer. So that's great, guys, right? We can execute it and we can find it. Now, if we do something more, suppose I want pass a comma b, two values, a comma b, two values, and if I just use print add a and b, a plus b. Now we have this function. Now call it. Now if we call home, and pass nothing, it will give you the answer. Home missing two required position argument. If we call home with 2, 3, we will get correct answer. Add a and b is 5, or a and b 5. So we are getting this answer because my print function is going to print. Now suppose I'm just going to update my print. Try to understand this concept, very important concept. Home 1 is going to give you the answer a plus b. I'm just going to define one more function, define home 2, a comma b, and this time I don't want to print, I want return, and what I want return a plus b. That's it, guys. That's it, right? So what is the difference? Here we are printing and here we are going to return. Now what the function will do and what the difference between print and return, let's see. If I call home 3, 4, sorry, home 1, 3, 4, we will get this answer, and if we call home 2, we will get this answer. Is there any difference, guys, between home 1 and home 2? Who will give me the answer? What is the difference between home 1 and home 2? Okay, so actually, yeah, that's great. Ankit, Sunny, and Sarthak, Yogesh, and all like who are giving me the answer, right? So it's correct. It's correct, right? Okay. So what this function is doing? A two return value. Two return values. No, it's not correct. Okay. Home is returning the value. Yeah, it's correct. Two is returning the value. Home 2 will able to assign value for anywhere. Okay, that's great. In home 1, the function is print itself, but home 2 is returning. Okay, we can show. That's great, guys. All of you. Thank you so much for your response. Right, it's a really great answer. Home 1 and home 2. Like suppose, for example, a equals to home 1. Home 1. Home 1, 2, 3. We are printing now. We have this. Now let's see the difference. If we call A, we'll get nothing. If we call B, we'll get 5, right? So what this function is doing, this function is going to return something, right? Return something, right? And whatever it will return, we will store in variable B, right? And in home 1, it will return nothing. So we will get A as a blank, or just null value we have in variable A. So that's the concept, guys. We have return and print. So this function call be as a category pass something and return something. Now pass nothing, return nothing will seem like, as I was explaining you, like I'm just going to define temperature. Temperature is a function. So temperature, I'm just going to pass nothing, but I'm just going to return today's temperature is 23. So now if we call temp function, call nothing, just pass nothing, and just t variable and execute it. If you use t, you will get 23 because my return function is going to return 23 from this function. So we covered all type of four possibilities we have in our function, and we can pass it, right? So I hope it's clear to all of you. If anyone have any doubt in this complete functions concept, you can ask me. Anyone is facing any doubt, any question suits, you can ask me. Or if everything was clear, so you can just give me yes, that yes, it's clear to all of you. Okay, so now actually you are asking for last concept, right? Actually, this function is accepting nothing. We are not passing anything. We are not passing anything, but this function is going to return something. Return something, right? As like we are calling this function, and when we call this function, right? We are we don't have to pass anything, but it's going to return 23, right? So what is function doing? Like pop function, right? We use pop. We don't have to pass anything, but it's going to return your last value. It's going to return your last value. Are you getting my points, guys? It's going to return your last value. So we can do this. So that's the point, right? Guys, do you want to create your own pop function? Okay, let's create our own pop function. Like for example, we have these numbers. Actually, as I'm explaining you about the pop function, that's why I'm explaining you this, right? Now, suppose I want to create my own pop function. Right? Now, in this pop function, what I'm doing here, Amar, I'm getting a question from you. But we call direct then return were also call function, but we assign other location than return value is stored in assigned variable. Yes, Aman. So now we are getting the question that can we assign a special type of argument here? Yes, I'm going to assign right now. What I'm doing here, I'm going to assign LOC, location, and by default is -1. Location is by default is -1. Are you getting your point, guys? Are you getting your points? Right? Okay. So now what this function will do, whenever I will call this function, try to understand this, guys. Very important concept we are going to cover. Actually, not important, logic we can say, right? Because this pop function will just explain that how we can create our logic, right? Okay, it's not actually I also not plan for this function that I will explain you, but right now as I explained that pop function, so I'm just going to create this pop function. So first thing is location, and second is data. Second is data. So now, I hope it's again clear to all of you. Okay. So now, what I'm doing here, guys, I'm just going to explain Himanshu, that how you can create your own pop function. Actually, there was a question that how it's going to return your 23, right? So if we are passing nothing, then how it's going to work? So what is my plan? I have to explain you that how you can create your own pop function. Suppose you want to create your own pop function, that how you can, right? So just we are going to learn about it, right? Okay. So now we have this. Now we are passing two things. First thing is location. Second thing is data. So what I'm doing here, data will pass on first. And location will be second, right? Okay. Now what I'm doing here, I want location is -1. It means I want to remove this data. Right? But now, as we are creating our own function, so we will not use it like X or just data dot pop of LOC. Can we use it? No. Why we can't use it? The reason is because we are creating our own pop function. So if we use this function, that why we are doing this, why we are just worried about to create this function. So how we can do this? How we can do this, right? Okay. So now what I'm doing here, location is -1. Location is -1, right? So what we will do, we will slice our data. We will slice our data from starting to the location. We will slice our data from starting to the location. So now what I'm doing here, we are passing data equals to data of data equals to data equals to colon or 0. We have to start from the starting point, 0 colon location, 0 colon location. So it will restore your data. It will restore your data. And after restoring this data, what I want to do, x equals to this data, x equals to this data. And now what I will return, so I will return the data of this particular location. So what I will return will be return of data of location. That's created. It's created, guys, right? Now we have this x, and what I want to use my own pop function. So what is my data? Data is my x on x location. And now where I want to remove, I don't want to pass anything. Now let's see. It's going to return 5454. We are not going to getting a 778, right? Okay, just a second. Okay, the reason is because we replaced this data. Yeah, what we are doing here, guys, we are like actually we are replacing this data with new data, right? So what we have to do, like for example, like we have this data, and I'm just going to define this function, and whatever I want to return, so what I'm doing here, I'm just going to create this new data, and I'm going to assign new data this variable to my x. Even it's not compulsory that you have to store in different, you can use this x also, and return data of LOC. Now data will be same, data is not going to change, x is going to change, right? And now we can return data of LOC. And now if we use pop of x, you will get 78. If you check your x, you are getting, because this x is not going to replace, with this, because this x is different, and we are just assigning this dex, x. So what we can do, if we want to use this x, we can use the different pattern, global and local, right? What am I trying to explain you here, guys? As we think that this x will consider by this x, but it's not true. This x is different and this x is different, right? So what we can do, we have two concepts or two things. First thing is global, and second thing is local. So this variable is a local variable. This variable is not going to refer with this variable, but we can do this. Before using this, we can use it global of x. So what we are doing here, we are calling this x as your global X. So now what this function will do, or what this global will do, this X will call, or this X will consider as this X data, right? So the two different variables will not exist, right? And now if I use it, and now if I use pop of X, we'll get 78, and if I use X, we will not get 78 here. So what our pop function is doing, guys? Pop function is removing your data from the last position as my pop function was doing, right? And also it's going to update of your previous data. If I call again pop X, we are getting this data, and if I again print X, we will not get this data. If I call again pop of X, we'll get again last data, and we will not get new data. So my X is going to update again and again. So how it's going to update, guys? Actually, before this global X, my program was thinking that this X is completely different from this X. So this X will consider as a local X for this function only. This X was considering as a local X for this function only. But when we define global of X, so what this function is doing, or what this keyword is doing, this keyword is just going to call this previous X as a global X if it's defined, right? So that's why we can use it. Right? Okay. And now how it 0 colon local work. Actually, like for we are passing -1. -1 means last position, and we want complete data apart from last position. So now, apart from last position, so what it's going to do and how it's going to work, when we pass 0, so it will start slicing our data from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and -1. So on -1, it will stop. Right? So location is -1. So it will stop on -1 and give you the data. Just try to understand, guys. Like we have this X. Suppose we have this X, right? And what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to slice X of 0 to LOC. And what we have in LOC variable, guys? So in LOC, we have LOC equals to -1. And if I write X of 0 colon LOC, we will get 45 will not consider, all data will consider. All data will consider here, right? Now, if I store this data, like suppose this data is variable in data, so that's why I'm writing this data of 0 colon local, sorry, LOC, not local, right? And this global X is going to call this X again. So this X is going to replace with new data. And now as we know that pop function print the data, or just print the removed data. Also, it will return you the removed data. So it's going to return your removed data. So what it's going to remove? It's going to remove your location data. Okay. So now this is the concept. So like all of you are getting the point that how this global is going to work. Okay. I'm going to explain you again. I'm just going to click on new. Okay, so what I'm doing here guys, I'm just going to consider this A equals to, try to understand this. A equals to 12. A equals to 12. Define change, or what I'm doing. I'm just going to create a new file in Pycharm, right? This is a Pycharm, again a Python interpreter, right? So anyone can use it, and I'm going to use global in function, global in function, just a, like you can say global in function, just a Python file I'm just going to create. So we are going to use it, we are going to code it here, and you will get your answers here. Here on terminal you will get your answer, right? Okay, so what I'm doing here, a equals to what I'm doing, I'm just going to store 12, and now define, try to understand this guys now, and it's your turn, right? You will give me the answer that define, then change, or just you can say, yeah, fine, define change, and now a equals to 13 and print of a. Now who will give me the answer when I execute this code? When I execute this code, what we will get? Okay, let's see. As you can see your answer here, nothing. We are getting nothing. The reason is, guys, because we defined this function but we not called it. We have to call this function. So I'm just going to call this function. Now I'm going to run this code. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to print 13. Now, if I do like this, suppose, okay, if we use like this, print A, and now if we call this, then what we will get? Run the code. We are getting 12, because this 12 is going to call by this function, right? But now suppose I have this string, right? Okay, and now I have this data. Suppose I have this data, right? Try to understand this, guys, right? I have this data, and what is my plan? My plan is a equals to hello, and I want to use this print A. Then how do it work? How it will print? It will print hello or A. And if I use print A, then what we will get? We will get hello, or we will get this array, or we will get both. Here it will print hello, and here it will print your this data. Now let's run this code. You will get, firstly it will print your list, because you are calling this first, then change function will execute and it will print your hello. But what I'm expecting that if anything happen inside this function, then I want to update the value of this variable. I would update the value of this variable, right? So what I want to mention this variable or declare this variable as a global here. Not globals, just global, because globals will give you the list of the globals variable from the class, right? So I'm not going to cover right now. So global of A. So what this function will do, guys, whenever you will print, now, if I print, like if I just assign global of A, and then A equals to hello, then print of A, and change. So what answer we will get? If I execute this code, what answer we will get? Hello 2 times. Some student says hello 2 times. Both hello. Some student says both hello. Some says list. Both will be list. Okay. Hello. Okay. Let's see. Guys, firstly, we are getting list, and then we are getting hello. The reason is, try to understand, like you are not giving me the correct answer, or just I think one should give me the correct answer. Firstly, actually this function is not going to call. That's why we are going to print A, So my list is going to print. My list is going to print, and when we are calling change function, my hello is going to print. But now, surprise thing is if I print this here, if I print this here, print A, and if I execute, then what we will get? We will get 2 times hello. Not 1 time hello, guys, only hello, but 2 times. The reason is because firstly we are going to call change function. So this change function will be here. It will call this a variable as a global variable here, and it will replace your variable a value of particular location, or location with variable a, and it will print your value a. And now when you call your print a, so this a already assigned, or this a already assigned with new value hello, and this a is same with this a. And now when you print or print a, so this a will consider with this hello, and now you will get 2 times hello. So that's the concept, guys, we have about global and local is nothing, just local is your local, right? If you not assign this global, and if you call this, then you will get hello and list, because this a will work as a local a for this function only, right? Not for this, right? So this is the concept, guys, we have. Okay, so now it's good. So guys, anyone have any doubt, you can ask me. Is it clear to everyone? Like how this global is going to play the role to just call the function? Okay, fine. So I hope it's clear to all of you, right? So I'm just going to close it. And now I'm just going to jump here, right? So this is like, guys, all about defining the function. How you can define your own function and how you can use them, right? So I hope it's clear to all of you guys, right? And it's not a big deal. Next, we are going to directly jump on developing a web pages, right? Okay. So we not covered two things. First is for loop or just loops, and second is conditional statements, right? So during the web development part, we need them. We need about the conditional statements, or hundreds of places we need them, right? So we'll use them, you can say, uh, uh, conditional statements. And apart from it, we need a for loop also. So we'll also work on for loop concept, right? So I hope it's clear to all of you, right? It's not big deal. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to close this. And I'm just directly going to jump on web development section, right? How you can build your web page, right? And believe me, with the help of Python, and with the help of Django, it's easiest thing to build the web application. Within 5 minutes, you can say your system or your just local web page will be ready for you. You don't have to download your MySQL, or you don't have to download any server, right? You need only just one framework called Django. You have to install only Django in your system. You will get everything inside your project, inside your system, right? Okay, so let's jump on directly, right? Okay, so now how we can jump. So we need a terminal called command prompt, right? If you are a Linux user, then you will get this type of look in your system, right? Or in your command prompt. And if you are a Windows user, then you will get your Windows look, right? Okay, you all know. I don't think so that I have to explain about it for you. Now you will get this terminal. What you have to check, guys, you have to check only that pip is working. Pip, P-I-P. Pip is working in your system or not, right? Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm just going to do one thing, right? It's not compulsory to all of you, right? It's just only in my system because I'm working on Anaconda, right? Okay, so what I'm doing here, Anaconda, and Yeah, fine. So now what you have to check, guys, after installing the Python, you have to check that the pip is working or not. So when you will type pip, it will give you some like these instructions. These instructions, how you can use pip. Pip to install the data, install the commands, uninstall the commands, freeze the commands or freeze the data, right? Or all the libraries, lists, and all the things we have, right? So you will get all the command lists, right? How many commands we have in pip. So you will get this data. If you are getting this data in your system, it means your pip is working fine. If you are not getting this, it means your pip is not going to work. Pip is not going to work, right? Okay. So clear. I am just going to clear it. Now, after that, what I'm going to do, I need to install some libraries. Right? So first important and compulsory library is Django. Django, it's not Django, it's Django, right? Okay. So now we are going to use it, right? So if we want to develop a web applications, so we have multiple frameworks in the field of Python. For Python programming language, we have multiple frameworks, like we have about Django, we have about Flask, right? We have about Pyramid, a lot of things we have. But if I like say personally, right, or just based on my previous all the experiences, right? Django will be your best choice. They will be your best choice to develop any type of web application. It's not limited. There is no limitation to build any type of web applications. It can integrate with all the payment gateways. You can integrate all the payment gateways, like it can be PayPal, it can be your any type of payment gateways. You can integrate with your Gmail accounts or all the things you can do. You can create APIs very easily as compare of Flask, as compare of Pyramid, as compare of other frameworks, right? So like Django will be the best choice, right? And if you go for the Google, and search for the Python developer job, right? And if you go for the Indeed or Naukri.com or LinkedIn will be like really official website, right, where you can get really genuine jobs, right? If you go for the websites, you will not get the Flask developer. Like on some places, like if we have 100 jobs, on 10 places we will get that we need a Flask developer. Mostly uh, they will force you, they will recommend you that you should be a Django developer. You should not be a Flask developer or Pyramid developer, right? So it will be a great choice to just go with Django. Otherwise, it's your choice. If you want to go with Pyramid, if you want to go with like you can say Flask, you can go with that also. Right? They will be again easy. Flask is for like a lightweight framework. You don't need to install and all these things, right? You need to install, but it's really very lightweight, right? And you can call it directly as in your simple files, right? Simple files, so you can use it. So now, but Django is really awesome and very easy to create the project. So let's see. Within two commands, your web page will be ready. Believe me, within two commands, your web page will be ready for you, and now you can start development your thoughts, your thought books, things, right? Okay. So let's see how we are going to do this, or how we can do this, right? Okay. So all of you are ready to do this. All of you are just going to jump for the web development things. I'm also going to show you how we can install, right? So all of you want to learn about it, that how we can build the applications, and are you ready for this, and what want to jump on this? Okay, I know most of you have the like yes, finally the moment arrived where you are going to know about the Django and about the web development concept, right? So what we are going to do, I'm going to explain you this concept in two sections, two parts, right? Firstly, I'm going to show you that how we can create the web application, and how we can just call it, just open your local server, and what you will get after the two commands, only just two commands, believe me guys, only two commands, or you can say with three amazing or surprising word, you will be get it, right? And after that we will see that how we can like how they work behind the scene, and how we can use this, right? Okay. So now I want to just jump on firstly my Google. So I want to show you something. If you search for Django jobs in Indore, in India, and all places, you will get thousands of jobs, not only one or two, right? Like if you search for LinkedIn, 2000 plus jobs, right? 41 new, so like within 1 week, they have 41 new Django jobs, right? So you can go with this and search for this, right? So now this is, but I'm not going to show you. It's not my main concern. My concern is like to Django. Simple. Let's go for the search for Django, because I'm going to show you that how we can install any type of library in our Python system. So I'm going to show you two different possibilities, not only one, two different possibilities to install the library in a system, right? Django, actually, Django is movie also, right? Or just one. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to search for Django. You will, I think you have to go for Django download. You will get this. Okay. You will get this website, Django and PyPy, P by PI. You will just click here. When you click here, guys, you will get this interesting page. Latest version is 3.1. This version is 3.1, and we are going to work on latest version, right? And you can choose a previous version also based on that what you are going to learn, right? But latest version will be awesome, right? Apart from it, like we have first possibility, pip install Django. Just copy this, and if you don't want to copy, right, what you can do, like as you are going to use it first time, what you have to do, just pip install Django. Simple. Pip install Django. When you call this pip install Django, and when you click enter, it will collect your Django. Right? As it shows requirement already satisfied, right? So what I'm doing here, I don't want to show you this. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to uninstall it. Then I will show you that how it will work. So just found existing 3.0.8, and let us just 3.1. So it will be again great for me that I will get updated version in my system. So now how I can check that particular version is like you can say a particular version or particular framework exists in my system or not, right? What is pip? Package installing pipeline. You can say, right? Or package installing in Python, you can say, but it says package installing pipeline in your Python. So if you want to install any library in your system, you can use pip. Okay, so now we are getting this pip package installing pipeline. You can also say Python install packages, right? Rahul, like if you want to say, you can also say this, right? Yeah, but now, so pip install Django. But before installing this, I want to check that this exists in my system or not, right? So now what I'm saying, I'm just typing Python. So when I type Python, then I will get this Python command prompt here, or Python just window here, right? And if I type import, import is a concept, guys. If you want to import any library, or if you want to use any library in a Python program, you have to use import. I'm just going to use with import and Django. So what I'm doing here, guys, I'm just going to import a one library Django. I'm just going to import a one library Django, right? Import and Django, and just click enter. So if I use import Django, then it's going to show me the error, just generating the error, module not found error. No module named Django not installed in my system. So what I'm typing, I'm just going to type quit, clear, and just I'm going to type pip install Django. Right? So if I type pip install Django and click enter, it will download. is done. Remaining packages already installed in my system. Installing collected packages, Django is going to install, right? Pip, actually, as I told you, that during the installing time, you have to click on checkbox. You have to click on checkbox. So if you clicked on checkbox, you will get your pip working ready. You can use a pip and you can use a Python. You don't have to do anything. But yeah, we have second possibility also to set the path, but it will be like really long procedure. So I'm not going to explain you in this session, right? That how we can set the path. If you forget to apply or just click on checkbox, right? So don't worry, just simply or easiest thing right now that go for uninstalling the Python and install it again. Install it again. So when you install your Python again, and just make sure that you are going to click on checkbox, and install it. So you will get your pip and Python ready to use it. So now, as you can see, so I suggest don't go for updating the Python, updating the pip, right? I will not suggest you to go for the updating the pip, right? Even if you can use pip install update pip, right? But you don't have to update. Okay. Now, what I'm doing here, guys, after installing it, I want to check it that it's working in my system or not. So I'm just going to type Python and I'm going to type import Django. Now, if I type import Django and click enter, we are not getting any error. We're not getting any error, right? So it means Django is working properly, right? Yeah, same thing. Like if anyone is getting this error, pip is not recognized as internal command that you are getting the same error. So what you have to do, guys, just go for the system, uninstall your Python, and install your Python again. I suggest you for this timing also, right? For right now, right? So what you can do, just now, what you have to do, just as I'm going to use Python install. Uninstall your Python, install again, and during installing time, before clicking on this button, install now, mark on. You have to click on this checkbox, right? Click on this checkbox, right? Then click on install now, right? It can be 3.8, 3.7, 3.4, 3.6, doesn't matter. Matter is just click on this checkbox, right? So when you click on this checkbox and click on install now, your Python will work fine and pip also will work fine. Python and pip both will work fine. Then you can install. Yes. Okay, that's it. Yes, if you have your Pycharm, you can install a Python terminal also. It's not big deal, right? Okay. You can use Python terminal, Jinesh. You can use your Python terminal, right? So now you can see my Django is working. So now I'm just going to terminate it. And I'm going to open my okay. So I have this terminal, right? So now what I'm doing here, guys, uh, I will suggest for all of you, you have to go for the Pycharm. Pycharm will be like awesome tool to build your web applications, mainly, right? And for other applications also, if you are going to code on Python. So just go for Pycharm Community Edition. Go for this link, right? And click here and download your community edition. So it will not chargeable for anyone, right? It will be free for everyone, right? So you can download your Pycharm from here. This is a professional version. You don't have to download it. It's just on free trial, right? And you can download it community for pure Python development, right? Download it. So it will be like great tool for you have and you can use it, right? Free and open source, right? So just download, install it, and just use it. Okay. So now what I'm doing here, guys, what I'm doing here, Sunny, don't go with VS Code. Don't go with VS Code, go with Pycharm. In terminal, guys, I'm writing pip install Django. Pip install Django. Just type this command, guys. Do nothing. Just type this command. After installing your Python properly, type this command, pip install Django. It will work. It will work in your system. 100% it will work, right? Otherwise, guys, I don't think so that we have to like really in Anaconda prompt, you can type pip install Django, it will work, right? After conda, open base, right? It's for my system, guys. It's not for all of you, right? It's like my terminal command prompt, right? And I'm using a Mac system, So like we are getting this type of look, right? Or just if anyone is thinking that I'm using Visual Studio and all, I'm not using it, right? I'm using this Pycharm. I'm going to use this Pycharm too, right? So we'll use it. So now we have this pip install Django, right? When you will type it, Jupyter Notebook, we can't code your Django application on Jupyter Notebook, right? So I will not suggest you that you have to go with Jupyter Notebook to code your Django applications, right? Because we need a connection of multiple files, right? Okay. Go with VS Code. I'm not saying that you can't go with VS Code, right? You can go with VS Code, other code editors, right? I'm going to use Pycharm. Now after that, it's your choice what type of editor you want to use. It's completely just up to you, right? Okay. Uma, I don't think so that I have to explain this for you, right? That what is the difference between VS Code and Pycharm, right? We already worked on Pycharm, Uma, right? So you have like enough knowledge about the Pycharm, right? Just go for the VS Code detail, you will get the difference. Okay. Import command will not work here, guys. Like if anyone is working like this, import Django, right? So it will not work here. It will say that import not defined as an international command or any other error, right? So just after installing after installing your you can say your Django, you don't have to do nothing. You have to do nothing. You have to just go for the Pycharm. But before Pycharm, we have to run some commands. So what you have to do, guys, you have to just type Python on your terminal, right? Type Python and click enter. So now, as you can see, type Python and click enter. When you click enter, you will get this. Now, and type import. Import is a library. Import is just a keyword in Python if you want to import any library. So I want to import Django. So import Django. If I click enter, I'm getting no error. There's no error in my system. It means Django is going to work properly. It's just going to work fine, right? So it's not big deal. Django is working fine. Now I want to quit, so I'm just going to quit it, right? Guys, I just suggest one thing for all of you. If anyone is facing problem, error to installing the Django and all these things, right? So you will get a complete day for tomorrow, right? Before starting the class. So just make sure to install your Django and make it ready to work it fine, right? So I will suggest that install it properly. Anyhow, you can use Anaconda, Jupyter Notebook, VS Code, whatever you want, you can do, right? And I can assume that we all are at least engineering students, right? Honestly, right? So we can do this at least these things, right? I don't think so that I have to like suggest you that how you can install the software and all these things in your local system, right? Okay, so just make sure to install your Pycharm and run it, or just working ready, so we can go for the coding part, right? Otherwise, because we are going to code a lot of things, guys. Like if I show you that what you are going to make in a project, what type of code you are going to create in your system. So I'm just going to show you the just one file. So you are going to code it, all the things, and you will be able to code it, right? But I want just your support, or all of your support, right? To just work on it, So you are going to code these things. You are going to code these things. Apart from it, you are going to code these files, and as well, this is your one part of your project. And apart from it, we have a one second part. I have to check where I have this one. You are going to code this also. You're going to code these things, because we are going to create an API. So you're going to code these things, right? And API. So you will create your API. So in views.py, we are getting nothing. I created on, yeah, not in this, sorry. Uh, in object, I created this views.py. So you are also going to work on it. You're going to work on all the concepts, templates. I already created this HTML, but you are going to configure this HTML template to use with your Python code. As you can see, TechSim, the login and use awesome services, right? Home, and you will see, and you are also going to learn this basic JavaScript. You can see this JavaScript will be the main part of using of your API thing. Only this JavaScript we are going to learn, and this will be everything of your complete 5-day learning journey, right? This JavaScript will be main, right? Apart we have some basic JavaScript we will learn from the basics, from the beginning, line by line we'll code it. So we want that your interpreter or your Jupyter notebook or your Pycharm, your VS Code, your Atom, any tool you are going to use, make sure it should be ready to code. It should be ready to code, right? Okay. So it will be really great thing or great tool we are going to use, right? Okay, now, so let's jump. And apart from it, good news is, uh, apart from this, we will also focus, good news is like surprising thing, actually, we made a surprise for everyone, right? Surprising thing, you are going to work on AWS services also. We will use some a basic part of AWS services, right? And we will use them. We'll use them in our program, right? So it will be like great thing. As you can see, celebrity prediction. I created a one project. So what I did, I am fetching the data from AWS. I'm sending the request to my AWS services or to my AWS cloud, and the AWS cloud is fetching the data, processing my image, and after processing this image, just going to give me the answer. That in this image you have this celebrity. So that will be like great thing you are going to learn, you are going to cover. So that's why I want just to I will just one thing from your end, that your whatever you are using, but it should be ready to use. It should not be generate any error that your pip is not defined, Python is not defined, Django is not working, and all these things. If you can do this, believe me, you are going to enjoy your upcoming 4 days. Definitely you are going to learn a lot of things and amazing things we are going to cover. And if anyone will face any error, any doubt to install anything, so we have YouTube, right? So anyone can go what we can say, anyone can go on YouTube, search for it. We are getting this error. You will get a lot of suggestions, lot of solutions, and just download it, install it, right? So we can. Okay, yeah. So just I'm not going to conclude our class, guys. I'm just going to show you that how our project will work. Yeah, you can go with the Stack Overflow, right? Okay, it will be like interesting. Okay. Yeah, Sunny, thank you so much to move one step for saving energy, right? So I'm just going to remove my charger. Sunny wants to tell that, sir, you have to remove your charger because your laptop is completely charged. That's great. Thanks for your suggestion. Okay, so now what I'm doing here, guys, I'm just going to explain you just last two commands for today's session. Then we will definitely continue our tomorrow's session will on same time and with new energy, with new concept and a lot of new things, right? Okay. So now what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to run two amazing commands, three loving words. First word is Django. First word is Django. Django admin. This will be just common Django admin. Actually, what I'm doing here, guys, I'm creating one project. I'm creating just one project for my Django program. So how we can get the one project? Django admin start project. Start project and your project name. So actually, just wait a minute, guys. I want to change my location. CD desktop. We all know CD desktop. After that, as I created a one folder master in Python, I will create new folder here, or not new folder. I will create my project here. So what I'm doing here, CD master in Python. So my current directory will be this. Right? Now I will create Django admin start project. Then your project name. So what is the project name? Suppose we have this folder and there is only two folders we have, and I'm going to create a new project Django API. Suppose my project name is Django API, and there is no project, there is no folder with the name of Django API, right? Okay, but now if I click enter and just see, you have this folder Django API. So my one command is creating my complete project, my complete basic project, basic syntax, basic structure of your project. Everything is just going to create by your one command, Django API. We don't have to do nothing. We don't have to perform anything. Just this command. Now next is CD Django project. So in this folder, we have two things. First thing is your file, and second thing is your same folder as you created your project. So if we are executing, if we open this folder, we will get these files. We will discuss about these files tomorrow and next session, right? Not today, but yeah, I'm going to discuss one more command. I'm going to work on next command, and next command is Python manage.py. So what I'm trying to say, yeah, start project, no gap, not start project here. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start my server, or you can say I'm going to start my project. So I can see what I developed, right? So Django and manage.py is your everything. You can say manager of your company, right? And this manager, so what this manager will do, if you want to execute anything inside your company, inside your hotel, you can say you have to ask to your manager. Now, Sanskriti, you don't have to run this command on Python or Python terminal. Just quit your Python, and after that, run your command or run your this Django admin on your terminal. It's not Python, guys. All of you, Sanskriti also, right? It's not Python, right? It's my terminal. It's my command prompt, right? You are executing the same command of Python, right? Okay, fine, that's good. So now, what I'm doing, I'm just going to write p by Python manage.py run server, and just believe me, guys, with the help of this command, your server will be ready. Server will be ready and you can use it. Just click enter and let's see the magic. Port is already in use because I'm using this port. What my machine says that you are using this 8000 port already in your system. That's why you can't use this port again. So what I'm doing, okay, no issue. I don't want to use 8000. I want to use 1200. Suppose, or I want to use 9000. 8000 is busy. 8000 port number is busy. I'm going to use 9000. It's my choice. It's ready. You can see it's ready. It's starting development server at this URL. Copy this URL, do nothing, just go for your browser, paste it and see the magic. You will get your Django powered basic web page is ready to all of you. After executing this command, your server is running and you can see when I clicked enter, request is going to send by this browser to my project and it's going to handle by my machine. What are these requests and what is all the things? We will discuss about it tomorrow in next section. Next session, right? There is no issue, and we will handle all the things that how they are working, how they are handling the request, and how your browser is going to play the role to handle your request or getting the response from a website, right? We will learn about it, learn from the basics, from the scratch, everything. So don't worry about it, right? But yeah, right now you can say that your project is ready. Your web page is ready to develop the project, to develop the program, right? So this is your web page. It's just created by, you can see this project. Why you was getting the error? Because 8000, I'm using 8000 here. This is my 8000. So that's why I was getting the error, right? But now here, I'm not getting any error, right? Because I used 9000. So this is again my local server. What I did, I just changed my HTML pages. I included some HTML pages, or beautiful HTML pages, applied some processing concepts, created some drop-down things, facial analysis and all these things, and you can use them. Simple, right? So you will create all these things. All these things we'll create, so don't worry about it. It says com and all these things, right? Okay. So we have this. So we created this web page. So what you have to do, guys, you have to just do nothing. Just 2 commands you have to remember only, right? First thing is first command is Django admin start project, then project name. Django admin start project, then project name. Second command is cd your project name, Then third command is python manage.py run server. Guys, what I'm doing here, I'm just going to delete this project, move to trash, right? And I'm just going to clear this and if I show, okay, I deleted my project. I'm just going to show you same process again, right? Okay, Django admin start project. So what I'm doing here, guys, I'm writing this command on my terminal. This is my terminal, guys, right? In your Windows, you will get different terminal. In your Linux, you will get different terminal. In my Mac, I'm getting different terminal, right? So it's not a big deal, right? Terminal can vary according to operating system, nothing else. So Django admin start project, your project name, my Django API, simple. My new project, I created this. It's my choice. Why this name? I don't know. Just I'm going to choose it. I love this name, right? So my Django API. So I created this project, and if I see, I will get new folder here, guys. My Django API. And inside this folder, I will get again same folder with same name, my Django API. Right? Are you getting my points? Right? Then we will do one thing, like as someone is getting so what you are doing, someone is getting the error manage.py is not defined. So what you are doing, you are writing this python manage.py run server. If you execute, you will get this error, can't open file manage.py, no such file or directory, right? So you will get this error. So what you have to do, firstly, you have to jump inside your project. So how you can jump, cd cd my Django API. Now you have to run same command, python manage.py run server. It will get again error. In my system, not your system, 8000 port is already in use. So what I will do, I will use 9000. It's my choice. Even I can use 8001. I'm just going to use 8001. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it here. My web page will be ready for me. Right? So this is complete procedure. This is your complete procedure to create your project, and to use it. Right? Next concept guys, you have to just make sure, because it's compulsory before next class, before next session, it's compulsory. Next, after installing the Django, after installing the Pycharm, you have to just open your Pycharm. After that, click on file, open, and just as desktop, as I can access it very easily in Windows. You will not able to access it very easily. You have to just work hard a little bit, right? But yeah, you can access, right? So just on desktop, you will get your folder master in Python. Now, what you will do, some mistakes you will do. I know that maximum students during my whole learning journey, since the last 4 years I'm teaching, I'm experiencing this. Then 60% students will do this mistake. And what they will do, they will open this folder, and after that they will select this folder and click on open. And when you will do this, you started doing the mistake, right? Because you are not going to open your project correctly, right? It will work if you are really master to work on a project. You can work after this point also, but as we are beginner, we are learning right now, we can't do this mistake, we can't afford this mistake also, right? We can't afford this mistake. Just back it, choose your my Django, and click open. Don't open this project again, right? You have to open your first folder, not inner folder, right? So now I have to just choose it and click open. If you already opened any project, it will ask you for this, otherwise it will open. So as I'm not going to close this project, I'm just going to choose new window. So this project will be here. I'm going to open this project in new window. So it's going to open my project again. Now, as you can see, it's going to just type loading the project. So it's going to just taking some time, but it will load. It's generating some error. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to close the project. My previous project, I'm just going to close. Yeah, it's going to load, and it's done. It's loaded, right? So it's going to load. It's loaded, and when it loads the project, and when it loaded the project, when you click here, you will get 2 or 1 file, or 2 or 3. First thing is my Django API at the same folder. Inside this folder, you will get this also, guys. My Django API, and maybe some of you will get this db.sqlite3 file. This is your database. It's directly created by your Django. We don't have to create a database, right? And you will get manage.py file. And here you will get terminal option. So just click here, and it's done. Right? So it's good for all of us, guys. Right now, it will work. Now after this terminal, if you want to check that your Python is working fine or not, so you can also check it. Right? So as not in your system, is only for my machine. I have to activate conda, conda. Now, what I will do, I want to check that my Python is working or fine. So Python manage.py, I'm just going to close this terminal, right? And now I will run here Python manage.py run server. Now it's working fine. If I click this link, it will be ready for me. And now you can see that my Django project is ready to use. Now we can start developing the project. Like this is my urls.py, this is my settings.py file. I will explain you about everything, about every file, that what is this static URL, what is this your base directory, what is this your secret key, what is this your debug, what is this your allowed host, what is this your installed app, what is this your firmware, right? What is your templates? All the things we will cover, right? We will discuss about all the concepts. What is this your database, how they work, right? Apart from it, like time zone, I'm going to discuss right now, right? I will not leave everything for tomorrow, right? So time zone, what is this time zone, right? And all the things we are going to cover in URLs, how they work, we have this import and all these things. So we are going to just, right? But before that, I would explain you something. I would explain you some more concept about importing the library. Not big deal, but about importing the library. How we can import library in Python code. It's very important concept. Very important concept we are going to cover. Mohit, you will not get any file for today because we not created any new thing. But we will definitely like create or share tomorrow. Definitely will share. Umasanka, can we go with 5 minutes? All of you guys, can we go with only maximum 5 minutes? Okay, let's jump. So now, as all of you are seeing me, okay, Samad, no, it's not like 5 minutes to 25 minutes, right? Okay, actually, Samad, like as you are saying me, I'm just trying to like explain you something, or I'm just trying to like explain you more, right? It's not like thing that I'll promise you for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and I'll just complete it within 2 minutes, right? It's about that I'm promising you that 5 minutes, but I will teach you for 25 minutes, right? And we are just doing this that you will get some knowledge and you will get some really new thing, right? Because everyone is learning about the web development separately. Everyone is learning about the machine learning separately, but they don't know that how we can integrate them. Okay, now next jump. uh, I want to just explain you about the time zone. Time zone will be the last thing, right? So as you can see, as I'm going to start my server, as you can start server, August 8th, 2020, 4 o'clock, 10 minutes, 32 seconds. But it's not right now, right? This time is 9:43, but we are getting this time, 4 o'clock something, right? The reason is because we are using UTC time. So I want to use Asia, and after that we are in Kolkata. Kolkata time zone we are going to choose, right? Asia and Kolkata. If I do this and if we refresh the server, we'll get same time, 21:43, 56 seconds. And now it's 44. It's 44, right? But we was getting the same time, 21:43 and 56 seconds, right? So this is your time zone concept, right? We are just going to change our time zone from UTC to Kolkata. So that's why we are getting this answer. We're getting this answer, right? Okay. Okay. So fine, guys. Like it's enough for today, right? Because you already like spent too much of time right here with me. So it's great. We will continue our class tomorrow on same time, 5 o'clock, right? And uh, with new concept, with new thing, right? But before that, just make sure that your Pycharm should work properly, right? Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Like you can leave your comment also. Leave your comment on YouTube, right? YouTube, like if you are watching me here, right? And if you love this video, love this tutorial, so you can subscribe our channel also, right? On YouTube channel. So you can do this also for us, right? Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much to be here. We will definitely learn something new, something amazing concepts tomorrow, right? Make sure. Like that. So thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Good night. See you again.